The console wars are officially over. Xbox has surrendered, they have lost, and it's sort of been this like slow progression for Xbox from being a competitor with PlayStation to slowly giving up, and now it's just completely done all this year. I mean, this year was really the rapid decline of Microsoft and Xbox. Now, I do want to say, I have an Xbox Series X, okay? I am not an Xbox hater. In fact, I would like to say something positive about Xbox. I love the fact that they still sell original Xbox games on the Microsoft Store and original Xbox 360 games on the Microsoft Store that I still buy to this day, and they have great sales all the time. I bought Street Fighter 4 for like $3 and something cents the other day. I bought Dead to Rights from the original Xbox. I mean, hey, you can't do that on PlayStation. So I like having an Xbox for those reasons, and obviously I like some of the new games too, like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle and other stuff they've produced recently. But I will say, it's gotten to a point where Xbox has completely revealed their new direction, and it's not looking good. And I don't plan on ever buying another Xbox console. I'm happy with my Series X. I'll stay with that. And that's probably about it, because earlier this week, Sarah Bond from Xbox was having an interview, and she kind of hinted at the fact that the next Xbox console is going to be a premium product. Translation, expensive, okay? And it's high end, again, expensive, okay? Just say expensive. Why can't you just say, hey, our next console is for rich people only? Why don't you say that, And that's a really bad thing, because basically what's going to happen is PlayStation is going to have no real competitors. They're going to have the affordable console that is capable of playing incredible games that require a system with very high power. I mean, the Nintendo Switch 2 is fine for what it is, but it's not going to be capable of playing the games that the PlayStation 6 will play. And whatever Xbox's next console is, I'm sure it'll be able to play those games, but who's going to buy a console that is more than $1,000? Especially since you could just get a PC or a gaming laptop or something like that. Like, I know that they're trying to push themselves towards the PC gamers. That's because that's the people who spend a lot of money on stuff in terms of like their gaming setup, and they might be willing to spend some money for that. But it's like, if they're going to buy a gaming PC, why buy an Xbox console? What is the benefit of it? I don't, like, if they sell the next console for $1,200, most gamers are just going to look at that and you'd be like, are you kidding me? Because Xbox has a bad reputation now. They're a dying brand in terms of hardware. They're still producing good games that people love. And in fact, this year, they put Forza Horizon 5 on the PlayStation 5. It became one of the best-selling titles on the PlayStation 5 this year. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle went over to PlayStation 5. Gears of War Reloaded, that is the remake of the original Gears of War, that went over to the PlayStation 5. And finally, this week, they announced Halo Campaign Evolved, which is a remake of the original Halo Combat Evolved. And that's going to be on PlayStation 5. So the big three, Forza, Gears, and Halo, all gone now. So exclusivity is gone. I know Sarah Bond from Xbox has mentioned exclusivity is supposedly outdated. I don't really agree with that. Maybe for them it's outdated because they can't afford to keep these games exclusive. They have to sell it on other consoles. And I know they're going to be trying to bring games to the Nintendo Switch 2 as well. The Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will be going to the Nintendo Switch 2. I mean, and that's good news for Microsoft, that they can sell their games that would, in years past be exclusive. Now it's going to be available to everybody. As a gamer, and I'm sure everybody kind of agrees with this, we're happy that you could play your games anywhere you want. But the thing is, if you're still selling consoles, then it doesn't really make any sense. Because like Sega, they still produce great games to this day. I mean, look at the Yakuza Like a Dragon series. People love that thing. And they're still releasing that on consoles that are available to everyone, the PlayStation, the Xbox, the Nintendo Switch 2, but they don't have a console. That's fine. But Xbox is still producing hardware. So if you're producing hardware, you would probably want to hold on to some of those exclusive titles so that people have a reason to buy your box, right? But they don't seem to understand this, even though it's been proven time and time again. Look at Nintendo. Nintendo's saving grace is that their intellectual property is so good. Mario, Donkey Kong, Fire Emblem, Pokemon, you know, it's like you can go on and on. Kirby, Mario Kart, Luigi and Princess Peach and Bowser and all the characters that people love. People will always buy Nintendo consoles because their first party exclusives are amazing. People love the games, people love the characters, and they've loved them for decades. It works. Having exclusives to your console works. Even on PlayStation, you know, there are PlayStation exclusives that help sell consoles. Remember Metal Gear Solid 4 was exclusive to PlayStation, and that helped sell consoles. I mean, it works. There's so much evidence for that. But Xbox has given up. I mean, they said a long time ago that they lost the Xbox One versus PS4 generation, and that was the worst generation to lose because people started building their digital libraries during that generation. And then they released the series consoles, but you know, up until recently, they hadn't released any bangers really. You know, they weren't having a good run of first-party exclusives. Oh, I shouldn't say exclusives, first-party titles, because nothing's exclusive anymore. But this year, they had some popular stuff. They had, well, Indiana Jones was last year, but they had the Oblivion remaster, Gears Reloaded. I mean, there's stuff that people like, and now that it's not exclusive, it's sort of like, well, why why still invest in the Xbox ecosystem unless you're like me and you want to buy like $3 old games to play because some of those games are great. But the other thing is, then they raised their console prices, the Xbox Series console prices, twice this year to astronomical levels that nobody can afford, and nobody should be buying an Xbox console at this point because the Xbox Series S, the base model, 512 gigabytes, is $400 here in America right now, and nobody should buy that console for $400. It's not worth it. Wouldn't recommend it to anybody, especially since they've admitted that, you know, that nothing's going to be exclusive anymore. So say goodbye to that. Then Xbox Game Pass is going up to $30 a month. It's already gone up to $30 a month. Now, who is going to pay $30 a month for that unless you're just some rich person who has money to burn for no reason? Because yeah, they say you have access to 400 plus games. Nobody has time to play that many games. So you're never going to get the value you're looking for out of $30 a month for this service. You're just not. I mean, even though they have first day exclusives, first party exclusives on day one. Actually, not exclusives. First party titles on day one. See, I keep saying exclusives, but there are no exclusives anymore. It's done. So yeah, you'll get first party titles on day one. But you know, a lot of those games you're probably not even going to want to play anyway. Maybe you'll like a couple of them, maybe, if you're lucky. But really, it's not worth the price. Just buy the games outright that you want to play. I mean, nobody's really going to be buying that many games a year anyway, full price, brand new. You're talking about a small section of the population. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. I know Microsoft has, you know, sort of forcing them to be more interested in making a profit in terms of like Xbox as a division of Microsoft. They got to start making money. And the only way to make money is whoever is still hanging on to the Xbox ecosystem, just gouge them and take every penny you can from them. But those people, you know, it's like eventually they're going to walk away because they're going to be like, they're going to realize they're getting scammed over here. So anyway, the console war is over. Congratulations to Sony and PlayStation, and I guess Nintendo too, because even though Nintendo might not be able to play the most brand new titles or whatever, they are still doing well enough, and they have their own thing going on with their first party titles, so they got nothing to worry about. The Switch 2 is selling amazingly. The PlayStation 5 selling amazingly over the years, and Xbox is really just by itself in a corner. And with Halo going over there, I mean, I guess it's cool for people who've never played Halo before that they get to play it on the PlayStation now, and there's going to be cross-play and everything like that. I mean, it's good news for people who have PlayStations, but I mean, for Microsoft, it's just like, why are you investing time into building another console? I mean, you just telling everybody that your games are going to be available elsewhere. So now they have no incentive to purchase your system. They'll say, why? It's like they already said, like, maybe the next console you'll have access to your Steam library, maybe your GOG library, but it's like, okay, but they could just get a gaming PC and probably for an even cheaper price than whatever they're going to sell their console at. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense what Xbox has been doing, unless they just want to abandon all of their fans that they've spent 20 years building them up, right? And now you're just like, sorry, we have to gear everything towards rich people now because we made some bad decisions and we can't afford to keep this division running unless we just overprice everything, which is embarrassing. And again, you're just like pushing people away from the brand, but you still want them to buy your stuff, buy your console, buy your Xbox ROG Ally X for $1,000. And yeah, it's embarrassing stuff, man. I mean, good for gamers who can now play Xbox games pretty much anywhere. But I don't think I'll ever buy an Xbox console ever again. I can still buy Xbox games because I have my Xbox Series X and I have a Nintendo Switch 2. Maybe I'll buy Xbox games on there in the future, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, it's amazing that all these years, people were always talking about PlayStation versus Xbox and blah, blah, blah. And this week, it kind of was the nail in the coffin. It's the definitive end of the whole thing. Nintendo's always going to be doing their thing. And as long as they don't have a massive screw up, they'll be doing just fine, no matter what, pretty much. I mean, unless they release another Wii U or something, some strange product that everybody is turned off by. And PlayStation, they can just do PlayStation 6, then a PlayStation 7, then an 8, then a 9, and they can just keep winning. I mean, they're just going to keep winning, but they're probably going to get lazy. And it seems like every console company has their hubris arc where things are going so well for them, they just get lazy and take their fans for granted, and maybe they'll screw up down the road, who knows. But yeah, I mean, even in terms of gaming subscriptions, Nintendo's winning that battle too. $50 for 1 year, you can get access to like almost 200 games that are from classic Nintendo systems, and there's some of them are the greatest games of all time ever made. So yeah, I guess Xbox just is waving the white flag all throughout this year. This is like just a ton of news stories that just have diminished the value of the Xbox brand. And yeah, I mean, if you're planning on ever buying an Xbox again, I don't really know what's going through your mind. You can find better ways to spend your money, especially in gaming. Thank you for watching.